Hello, guys. This is a quick content warning that I wanted to do at the beginning of the episode. Quick thing. Today's episode is going to be talking about some really harsh subjects, from sexual assault and rape to drug use, intoxication, and we're going to be talking about alleged pedophiles. So, by all means, please take care. And if you're not in the right headspace today, click off, go watch something else, come back when you're in a better headspace. Or if you're too triggered, if this is something that might trigger you, just skip the episode altogether. Okay. Yeah, I just want to give you a quick content warning on that. And also, all allegations and accusations that we will talk about in this episode are alleged. They are alleged until proven in the court of law. I am speaking by my own opinion. I am not speaking as a truth. We are just talking about this subject. And we are talking about the allegations that were told to me. And again, I hold everything with a grain of salt, and I hope that you will too. But I will also say tread with caution when you're in the community, because things like this can happen. This can happen. Tread lightly in the community. Protect yourself. Make sure that you're okay. Stick by friends that you can actually trust. But again, I'll say it again. All allegations and accusations that we will be talking on the podcast today are alleged until they are proven in the court of law. This is only my opinion, and I am only speaking from my opinion and my personal thoughts and feelings on the subject. That is what I am doing. Okay. Now, is that everything? Yeah, I actually had to take notes for this. Oh, here we go. I almost missed one. Good thing I took notes. There's a recap about all the drama that happened over the summer. I advise for you guys to go to my Instagram and actually take a look at it. It's in my highlights on the main podcast page. It is highlights summer of 25 part 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's about 300 plus responses that all cover things that were spoken about on the T-board and me responding to them. Yeah, because this drama happened over three different platforms. So yeah, that tells you something. Please, by all means, like I said, go and take a look at that. It took about 4 hours for me to compile everything. And yeah, so by all means, go and take a look. Thank you. I will see you guys in just a few minutes in the episode. Why did I say a few minutes? It's literally like a second. I'll see you in a second. See you there. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Ankh Ageplay podcast. Well, technically, it could be good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, either one. We have a lot to cover on today's podcast. The first thing that we're going to be covering is the whole drama that happened from the summer. As you guys probably heard from the intro, there will be no recap. This is me talking on the talking points that I found that were a problem. And I really do need to talk about this, because Jesus Christ, was this shit fucking stupid. Now, a lot of you know that a lot of the things that I had said during the time of during the drama on Instagram, that it came out true. Did I not tell you that they were going to start throwing out names and throwing motherfuckers under the bus? Yeah, and they did each and every one of those things. They gave us names for almost every part of the drama that they had. I personally think it's funny that one of them had the audacity to talk about decency a while ago when I brought up the whole, mind you, we're talking about the popular kids, the Denver girls. One of them had the audacity to come up and say, "Oh, well, you didn't have the decency to tell me about talk to me in private about how the contract was wrong. You don't know anything. Oh, I don't know anything? Then why the fuck are you posting a contract and then had to take that shit down once you realized that the shit was null and void because your dumbass didn't mark the right things? Let alone the girl could contest the fact that her name was spelled wrong and her address was wrong. Yes, I did see them, and yes, they were wrong. For those of you that, for those of the people that were on the T-board and they were like, oh, how do you know it's wrong? I actually do know that it was wrong. It was spelled wrong. And there's no fucking way that she would have spelled that wrong. I'm just going to tell you that off the bat. Had she actually signed that, she wouldn't have spelled that wrong. Especially since the website itself has it where it can auto sign for you. I don't think that it is what it is. And I think that if the model is telling you her name is spelled wrong, you should fucking believe her. Anyway, let's keep on going. We're going to talk about more that has to do with the Denver girls and the bullshit that they were doing. First off, can we just say before we jumped off of this subject here, how fucked up it is for you to try to trap your own friend in a goddamn contract, in like a predatory contract? Can we talk about how shitty that is? That's a real shitty thing to fucking do. Real shitty thing to fucking do. And especially for someone that you say is a friend. Well, luckily the bitch is an idiot and then didn't actually fucking read the contract that she was trying to get her friend to sign. Because had she read it, she probably wouldn't have given us the gold that allowed us to laugh at her stupid ass. Anyway, and for those of you that don't know what happened with that, listen to my earlier podcast where I actually talk about the contract thing. That is about the sex industry one. Yeah. Anyways, what is it? Industry Standard is the name of that episode. Yeah, let's keep going. So there were several claims and shit that came out during this entire thing. And I have an issue with the bullshit of the Denver girls right now. See, here's the thing. And before we start getting to the claims, I want to point out something that someone in the Denver community had said. They had saw some of the accusations and claims that happened on the T-board. And then they said, well, that didn't happen in your community. That happened in the regular community, meaning the regular kink community. Let me tell you something, bitch. If you can't tell whether an event happened in your community, in the kink community, or the Ageplay community, which is also a part of the kink community, but it didn't happen in a specific group, you're trying to say, if you can't fucking tell whether it happened in one group or the other, then that means that your fucking community is shit. And that you have no accountability whatsoever. That's a fucking problem. Do you know how many fucking stories I've heard about them coming out with shit about the Denver community? A lot. There are a lot of people who talk about the Denver community outside of the Ageplay community, and every last one of them said it's a fucking cesspool. Why do you think that is? Maybe because no one wants to take accountability for the shit that they do. Maybe if they did, maybe it wouldn't be such a fucking cesspool. You know what? I think the best way for me to express this is the line from Final Fantasy 12. I'll adjust it just a little bit so that people, so that it fits, right? You're right, Vaughn. This isn't a community. It's a cesspool. Anyway. Oh, thank you for that, Balthier. Anyway, getting back to the accusations. So this whole thing started with a punch, which is really hilarious. So on the T-board, someone, and I'm guessing it was one of the Denver girls because nobody else was there in order to fucking report this except for the Denver people. So it had to be one of the Denver girls that decided to go online and fucking write this on the T-board. And you'll see why I think it was exactly that, right? So this is what happened. Apparently, somebody walks into a particular diaper store or Ageplay store there in Denver. And one of the Denver girls finds out that this guy walks in with a girl who is in her early 20s, I guess. Don't worry, the age fluctuates depending on how bad they want to try to pin this on this dude. Now, I know everyone's like, well, what, you think he's innocent? I didn't say anything like that. I just don't believe I don't believe their argument, because they have a habit of saying things that aren't true. Don't worry, I'll point this out myself. So what happens is that supposedly this dude is in the store with this younger girl, again, in her 20s. The Denver girl finds out, rushes there to the store, argues with him, and punches him in the face. Allegedly. Now, allegedly is because they bragged about this on the T-board. Yes, bragging about assault makes perfect fucking sense. The fuck is wrong with you? Goes on the T-board and brags about how they punched him in the face. The T-board's response was, girl, that's assault. What the fuck are you doing? And her response was, no, he's a predator. And he's obviously a predator because he's there with a 20-year-old girl. The girl's 20, I guess, because he's in his 40s, supposedly. Supposedly he's in his 40s, the girl's in her 20s. I'm going to break the stigma on something for a second here, all right? A lot of people recently have been talking about the issue of age gap relationships, right? Here's my biggest point to age gap relationships. The only reason why you all feel queasy about it now is due to the fact that the political standpoint and this political bullshit that has been coming out that you're hearing from one political party, from the far right. You are feeling weird about it because of the whole dating a younger girl, because of the way that they constantly point this shit out. And the way that they talk about it is extremely predatory. Now, I know a lot of you are like, what does politics have to do with this? A lot, actually. And I'm just pointing out why people in different communities have an issue with this nowadays. And the reason why I say nowadays is because if you were to go back 10 years, all the girls that you hear having an issue with this were the ones that were posting on their fucking accounts on FetLife saying how much they wanted an older guy and how they refused to date a man that was within their age range. They wanted to date someone that was 35, 40, and 50. That they only go after older men. Go on FetLife, look at fucking accounts. They fucking all say it. Look at how many accounts have age gap as a fucking kink. That are actual, like, female accounts. Go back and look at that. This isn't a gendered thing, but I'm just pointing out that's a thing in the kink community. Like, the kink community has always been a thing with gender gap relationships. They have always taught that there is a power dynamic that goes with it, too. And they even have educational courses to explain age gap relationships and fucking, age gap relationships and how that fucking applies to power dynamics. And how to make sure that you all are not abusing one another. It's fucking true. The community has always had this. So to have these bitches sit here now and start like going and saying, oh, well, this is disgusting behavior. You had it on your profile. All of a sudden it's disgusting behavior? You were the one calling for this shit. I don't know how many people, if anybody remembers this, or how long certain people have been in the community. 5 profiles out of 10 would always mention about how they didn't want to date a guy younger than them, or the same age as them. There was always a guy that had to be 5 to 10 years older than they were. Or more. Some girls were like, I only date guys that are in their 40s. This is a thing. So why the fuck are we pretending like it's not? This has always been a thing in the community. If it's legal, it's fine. It's when we start getting to it being illegal is when it's not okay. I don't know where this mindset came from, and I'm guessing, again, I believe it's the political discourse. And it makes sense if it was coming from the political discourse. Me, on the other hand, I've always dated older people. Very few, so when it comes to kink relationships, if I'm not mistaken, most of my partners are older than me. Except for 2, I think, that are younger than me by 5 years. One is 5 years younger than me. The other one is 2 or 3. I don't understand where the fuck this thought process came from, where all of a sudden everybody's trying to bullshit their way out of this, where they're trying to make something into something that it isn't. I'm calling it like I sees it. I don't know where the fuck this is coming from. But on the T-board, a lot of them keep coming up with bullshit to try to do gotcha politics on people for. Again, we'll talk about that later. Let's go back to this whole conversation, right? So this assault takes place, and on the T-board, the person decides to say, well, he's a predator, and I know that he's a pedo, and that he obviously is there because he's a pedo. Okay, so you're telling me that the girl that was in the store supposedly was underage now? Because that's the funniest part. It started off with the girl being 20. Then they morphed the girl to a 17-year-old. Does anybody know how old this girl actually was? And if you thought that he was with this 17-year-old, why didn't you call the cops? Why didn't the store owner call the cops? You have an Ageplay store that this incident took place in. And if you all believe that the person was underage, why did you not call the cops? Do you see why people believe Denver's community is a cesspool? Do you get it? Let's keep going. So I want to hear the logic behind this, right? So later claims was that he was, and again, this is going to go into the rave event that ended up closing down over there, and some other claims. So here's the funny thing. They started to claim, and I quote, that, get this, that I understand this is alleged, right? This is alleged. That they discovered, because he apparently told the story of him dating some 12-year-old in South Korea. That's awfully convenient. So I'm to believe that this story has happened, right? And you all never called the cops? Never reported it to the FBI or anything like that? Never? Never. Okay. Then they were like, well, we found that out afterwards. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Even if you found out afterwards, did you report it? No? Then that's suspicious to me. That's suspicious as fuck. Why did you not report it? It doesn't matter when you found out. It matters whether you reported it or not. And you didn't report it. So once again, we have a situation where this ain't looking too good. So then in a live in this girl's Instagram live, they decide to state and say, you ready for this? You ready for this one? Because this is some goofy fucking shit. This is some goofy fucking shit. That they walked in on this dude looking at CP. Okay. So you walked in on him looking at CP. Did you report it? Did you go to the police? Did you go to the FBI? Fuck, did you call the CIA, NCIS? Did you call fucking... Did you even bother to call fucking Law and Order SVU? Like, shit. Like, what did you do? What did you do? Explain to me what you did. Except for go to the T-board and tell it all. That doesn't make sense to me. If you thought this dude was a predator, wouldn't you have gone to the fucking police? Why did you go to the T-board? Because I don't think that you actually believe that shit. And I don't think that you have the evidence for it. I think you're a lying piece of shit. And judging by the fact that you have lied about other people, that says a lot. That says a lot. But again, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Again, I'm not talking about my claims. I'm talking about your claims. These are allegations that were made by the popular kids, by one girl in the Denver girl group. Made this with her friends backing her up. Now, I'm going to point out several reasons why I think this entire thing is horseshit. Right? Okay. So, two people, one of which she was working with for this rave event, and that person's ex-partner were once called predators by this exact same girl at different parties. And she would tell people that they were, oh, you see those two over there? They're predators. But then says that she was really high and that she doesn't remember fucking saying it. And that she gets a little out of control when she's high. Let me also tell you that the favorite drugs amongst these people is hallucinogenics. Just to let you know that. Right? It's hallucinogenics. And these motherfuckers are doing a hefty amount of it. Hefty fucking amount. Some of them are just into ketamine. I mean, this particular girl decided to dance around on fucking TikTok talking about, I love ketamine so very much. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You look like a clown. Sit your stupid ass down, please. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a person actually stupid enough to go out there and actually put out a shit ton of evidence that they do ketamine. It's like, you're like a Bond villain. You're over here telling the secret plans and shit. No joke, they actually are like fucking Bond villains because they go to their own parties, start talking to people, don't remember who the fuck they said shit to, and then those people are like, yo, did you know? And then their own friends will go out there and fucking say shit and then fucking ruin their entire plot. This is not Mean Girls, it's the Clown Brigade. But again, like this is goofy shit. This is all goofy shit. So she said that these two were predators, right? But then she can't remember it because she was too high. But then she says that one of the people that she does videos with now, and that person's partner, she says, oh, no, they are predators. She has said that in the past. Her own friends have repeated this, and they have gone on the T-board to even say it. People who were around them at parties and shit have said, yeah, they did say this. So then why the fuck am I going to believe you about your ex? Why am I going to believe that? Again, if what you're saying is true, bitch, you're an accomplice. You're an accomplice. Because you didn't report it. You didn't do shit. You allowed this shit to keep going on. That's accomplice. And you would go to jail probably for a quarter to half of the time that he would. If he was guilty. Again, you cannot fucking do shit like this. I kept saying this, right? I keep saying it over and over and over. This type of behavior is not what the community is about. It's not. And under no fucking circumstances should anybody be buying, attending, going to, viewing, or purchasing, whatever you want to say, any type of content, material, anything from these bitches. Now, here's a real funny thing, right? Here's a real funny thing. I find the claim about predatory behavior being interesting, right? I find this interesting because another model came out, and that model, whether it was her or her friends, posted on the T-board about, get ready for this, that the same girl that made all these claims had forced her into sexual content that she didn't want to be in. Now, I got nothing. This is, again, all these allegations are alleged. Just because it's an allegation does not make it true. It does not make it true. And in order for us to find truth in this would have to be taken to court. It would have to be taken to court. This is a problem. This is a serious problem. And I'm going to tell you right now, right? The accusations that these people make should be taken with a grain of salt. A hefty portion of salt. Do not believe everything you fucking hear. Because if you do, then you start having issues about seeing certain flaws in the fucking talking point. This is why I'm subjective to everything that I hear with the with information. I don't know if this shit is true. I don't. And I'm telling you right now, I have no fucking clue. But because these women went onto the T-board and made these fucking claims, in my humblest opinion, all of these bitches should be in jail. They should be tried in court. All of them. Because there are a lot of slanderous things that were said on that T-board. Luckily, it's anonymous. Luckily, it's anonymous. And let me tell you something. The ex-boyfriend, this is to you, right? I want you to hear me when I say this. Sue that bitch. Sue her. And I'll tell you why. If she assaulted you, then went online and then made these fucking claims, I hope that you have them saved. I hope you do. Because doggy, she will not be able to make it out of that courtroom without some type of payment. That is fucking insane. That is absolutely fucking insane. Now, I'm not defending you because I don't know if any of these things are true. I don't know you like that. I believe that all of this shit should be investigated. I believe that every ounce of this should be investigated. I'm not saying whether something is true or not, but I'm going to say that the talking points that were made were fucking stupid. There were a lot of claims made, and there are people who have their own fucking belief system. I don't know what to say. I think that court action should be taken. I do. Because under no circumstance should you have been assaulted if that actually happened. And under no circumstance should you have to be subjected to something like this if it's not true. That's my point. Now, if it is true, your ass should be in jail. Under the jail. Like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? See, this is the thing, right? I'm going to point out another issue with the predator claim. Give me a second. But these are my problems with the popular kids and the Denver girls, is that this mean girl shit is going to get into criminality, criminal action. Now, it kind of did. It kind of did, actually. But I'm not sure if we want to talk on that. I'm not sure if we want to talk on the whole missing person thing. We're going to hold off on that. I think that's a subject for another day, I think. But let's talk about this majorly. I think that the allegations are nonsense. That's on a personal level. This is my opinion. My opinions do not matter in the overall scheme of things. And I always say that you all should be able to develop your own opinion no matter what. You should be able to develop your own opinion on the things that go on. So, please, by all means, like I said, please, by all means, make up your own minds. I'm not here to tell you how to think. But I just want you to see the same shit that I saw. And you make your decision based off of that. I'm just pointing out the issues that I'm seeing. Okay, so here we go. The other issues that I have seen with this, right, with the predatory claims, was, oh God, this is fucking ridiculous. Is that supposedly he was, during the time that they were running this rave, they started talking, he was talking to a 20-year-old girl. This is not illegal. No matter how many times these bitches will want to try to tell you it's illegal, it's not. It's not illegal. Don't worry. And again, remember I said how I find it dubious about the claim? You'll notice it too, because it gets kind of dubious with this too. So, they said, and I quote, that he came in with a 20-year-old girl. Then her age shifted down to 17, which then makes me wonder, why was a 17-year-old at your rave? Can someone explain that to me? Why was a 17-year-old at your rave? Especially one that's based in kink. Why would they be at your rave? But then they were like, no. Was it the girl that walked into the sex shop? Because I don't care what you think. An ABDL store is still considered a kink store and a sex shop. So did he walk in there with a 17-year-old? Which one is it? Is it the girl at the rave that was 20 or 17? Or was it the girl at the store that was 20 or 17? And if the store knew that that was the case, why didn't they call the cops? Why didn't they call the cops? An assault happened in the store and they still didn't call the fucking cops. And probably at this point, they probably erased the tapes. That's my speculation. I have questions. I have fucking questions. Because none of this was brought up. None of this was brought up. Where, I'm guessing that the tapes must have been erased. And seeing as the Denver girls are friends with the shop owners, I'm guessing they would have covered for them. I don't know. I'm taking a speculative guess. This is not me saying it definitely happened. I'm saying I don't know. Is that what happened? I'm asking questions. Here's the other part that got to me, right? So let's continue. Let's continue because we don't know what the age of this girl was. Supposedly she was 20. That's what the original age for this girl was, 20. So this dude who is 40 is here with a girl who is 20 and or was talking to a girl that was like 20 at the rave. Let's just say it was the rave. We'll go back to the store incident in a moment. We'll say at the rave. At the rave, supposedly the girl was like 20, a 20-year-old girl, a young 20, early 20s-year-old girl. So somewhere between 21 and 23, 24, I guess. Okay. So then the Denver girls that were running this event said that they had a fucking issue with this. That they found that his actions were predatory. Okay. But he was working with you, wasn't he, on this rave? He was working with you on the rave, right? Well, yeah. So then why? So wait. So this was an incident that happened early on, right? Okay. So if it happened early on, why was he still on the team? Well, to his credit, and I'm not joking, I'm literally quoting what the message was that was sent to me. To his credit, he did stop after we talked to him. He didn't stop because there was a second time, wasn't there? That you guys found offensive and then you guys got mad about it and kicked him out and then closed down the rave right after that, right? Is that the story? Is that the fluctuating story here? I'm not really believing the story of a bunch of drug addicts, but I'm just gonna give it. Let's give it some credence. Let's give it some credence. Okay. I'm going to break down your fucking story and explain to you why the fuck it's a goddamn problem. You ready? Okay. Let's say that a 40-year-old was dating a 20-year-old was illegal. For the sake of the argument, we're going to play your game. Let's say that a 40-year-old dating a 20-year-old or talking to a 20-year-old or flirting with a 20-year-old is illegal. You stopped him from talking to her and gave him a stern talking to. And then you let him continue to work with the people that he is showing interest in. So, let me get this straight. You thought by giving the wolf a fucking stern talking to, that was going to stop him from eating the rest of the hens? That's like you finding out that your coworker is that's like you working at if you owned a school with a bunch of kids, you find out a teacher is a pedophile, and then instead of fucking firing the teacher, you're like, you better not do anything bad, you. The fuck is wrong with you? See, this is why you can't be on drugs, kids, because this sounded like a logical fucking thing to do for a bunch of goddamn drug addicts. This sounded like a logical thing to do. Let me tell you what I personally think. I think that what they just said is horseshit. I do not believe that they found an issue with anything that was going on. They had no issue with him talking to a 20-year-old. No. I think they had an issue. I think that his ex had an issue with it because she thought they were getting back together. My speculation. That's my speculation. She believed they were going to get back together. And because that didn't happen, all these claims came out. All of a sudden now we have an issue with a 20-year-old. Because let me tell you something, right? If the first incident happened and then there was a second incident, then he didn't stop. He paused. And what you don't know is if there was anybody in between that pause. If you felt that was predatory behavior, guess what you wouldn't have done, bitch? You wouldn't have left him there. You would have kicked his ass out. But you didn't. Shit. You've kicked people out of your group for much less. Because wasn't it you all because it was the same person that told me that they kicked out a black girl out of their group for getting blackout drunk at their parties. Mind you, I find that fucking hilarious that's what they kicked her out for when all of them are on hallucinogenics and high out their ass with motherfuckers falling on the floor from overdosing. But no. The drunk girl is the problem. Or the alleged pedophile being there isn't an issue. The drunk girl was the issue. There's something you're going to learn about the Denver girls. They are real good at scapegoating. They have been scapegoating motherfuckers for years. That's all they ever do, is scapegoat. Because every single fucking time they get caught with shit, the first thing these fuckers do is, oh, well, I had no idea. All of a sudden, they don't fucking know where they are. They don't remember. They are worse than a person who is caught red-handed doing something going, I don't recall. This is goofy shit. This is real goofy shit. So let's continue on, right? So you had no issue with him actually being around this 20-year-old. It obviously wasn't an issue because you left him there. And then you don't know how many people that he was with or preyed on, according to you, in between that time, between the first time and the second time. Make it make sense. Oh, well, it was a learning experience. No, it wasn't, bitch. Do not come over here and try to wrap this shit up nicely. Do not try to come over here and wrap that shit up nicely. You damn well know what it was. You know what it was. You didn't do anything in order to stop the predatory behavior. You did nothing. You know what you did? Continued and allowed the predatory behavior to continue. That's what you did. By your definition of it. That's what I'm talking about. By your definition. If you are going to come here looking like a fucking clown, I'll bring the makeup to make sure you have it looking complete. This is ridiculous. My favorite part is that because I had saw the video where she had made the claims on the live, this girl, because I said this to the Denver girl that wasn't making the claims. The one that was the other person running the rave. And and I said, well, in her live, she said this. She didn't deny, now the one that made the claim did not deny that she didn't say it in the live. You know what she actually said? Here's Lars over here stalking people's lives. Honey, you do know that your live is public to your friends, right? You do realize that, right? You do realize that there are people that have literally can watch your shit. You're not speaking to dead air. You're speaking to people when you do a live. You are not speaking to specific people either, because the live shows up on people's Instagram. Again, if you would stop on all the fucking ketamine, you would actually be able to have some goddamn 2 brain cells to rub together. I'm guessing that a lot of those brain cells are pretty much dead at this point. I love ketamine so very much. Stupid bitch. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself on that. This is some goofy shit, man. This is some goofy shit. You got these fucking clowns doing this goofy shit, man. This is wild. This is fucking wild. You all have there's a proliferation of drugs as an issue in the community. There is. And the Denver girls are the ones that are providing it. They are. They don't hide that they are. They fucking post it on Instagram. And they make posts all the time. They're like, I brought my NO2. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? You go around hosting parties, bringing all these drugs and shit. Everybody's high off of their mind. This is goofy shit. Then you say, hold on. Wasn't the comment? I can't wait to hear this. So when you called the other 4 people predators, right? One of which you also said that they were a fake trans person. Goofy shit, bitch. You then said that I was so high, I didn't even know I said it. What? How are you so high that you don't know you said it? How is that possible? You're not a friend. So the true you comes out when you're high or inebriated in some fucking way. Because I still remember the comment that you made at CapCon 2 years ago. I never forgot that. Oh, no. Because I wasn't the only one that fucking heard you either. My boyfriend heard you. We both heard you fucking say what you did. And I think you were only 2 shots in. 2 shots in. And what was that comment? It was, I don't even like you all. I don't even like any of you. The only reason why I'm nice to you is and share the same space as you. No, the only reason why you're nice to us is because you have to share the same space as us. Honey, what? By the way, right? The way that you treated people of color is fucking atrocious. I can't wait to hear that be blamed on drugs. You know, the absolute mental mental abuse and verbal abuse that you used to spew out towards one black girl, so much so, and how you and your friends used to treat her like terribly. By the way, the entire community saw you do that, and everyone in the community had an issue with it. Everyone in the community had an issue with it, not just me. I saw it for years. Not just me. I wasn't the only one. Everyone else is like, yeah, we all saw that. You can go over here and clown your way into any fucking place that you plan to go. But I'm telling you right now, you can't hide who you are as an actual fucking person. An absolute piece of shit. Now, everybody saw how you were treating that girl. Everyone heard you say, and I quote, why should I care if she chokes on her own vomit and dies? You obviously know I'm referring to the girl that was blackout drunk. And your friends knew who I was referring to because they ran, one of them being your best friend, the one that is synonymous with you. Do you know how hard it is to get that title for something? Synonymous? Where 2 bitches are literally talking and they're practically the same person according to everybody? That's some goofy shit. Listen to this. The girl that is synonymous with you ran to told me that I was spreading misinformation, but then went to this girl and said, "I'm so sorry that you felt that way. I never wanted to treat you like that. It was never terrible. I swear I'm not racist. We're not racist. I would never hang out with people like that." If you know her history, you would be laughing as hard as I am. Hold on. Just to let you know, right? Back in the day, you did hang out with someone like that. I'm referring to the girl that said that in that message. Back in the day, you and I both hung out with someone that was incredibly racist. We both did. I'm not afraid to say that we both did. We both did. And then once we learned that he was, we stopped hanging around him. But it took a while because you kept going to his events. I never did. Just saying. I just want to point that out. You did go to his events even after he said the racist shit. And you do hang out with people that think like that, because there's another Denver girl there that had once said that black people don't belong in the kink community, or not the kink community, specifically the ABDL community, because it's a white kink. Yeah. Yeah. Now, mind you, this comment was made about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But guess what? People remember. People remember the ones that actually say that. Just remember that. And just to remember, that comment only came about because they kept getting messages from black people that wanted to try to date them. That was the reason why that comment was made. I don't know if you remember about that in the chat room, but I definitely do. I'll leave that there. Okay. So we all know that was horseshit. Then we already talked about in the other episode, the other person of color that ended up what they tried to trap in a contract. Do you see what I'm talking about? They don't treat any white members of their group like this. They don't. Actually, that's a lie. They do. But guess what they don't do? Guess what they don't do? They don't do the heinous actions that they did to these people, women of color, to any of those girls. To the white girls, they'll just spread rumors about them. To the people of color, they'll go up to their face and say, "I plotted 5 years to destroy you." I'm sorry. That's a line from one of the Denver girls, allegedly. To one of the girls of color. "I plotted for 5 years to destroy you." How the fuck do you say that like you're a goddamn cartoon villain? See my point? See why I'm saying what I'm saying? There are issues here. There are a lot of issues in the community. And the popular kids should not be able to go to events. They should not be able to go to events. That's some really goofy shit, people. And I'm going to be honest with you, they should be banned. They should be banned from any type of con or anything. And any convention any convention that will placate to their bullshit, meaning participate in it, ban them. Not ban them, I mean boycott them. Boycott them. That's what you do. I say you boycott their businesses. You know what their businesses are. Their sex work business. Don't buy shit from them. Don't buy shit from there. Don't buy their Ageplay Apparel. Don't buy any of that. Boycott them. There are individual fucking sellers that you can go to that will sell you shit for a very reasonable price. And you don't have to go over there and spend, $300 on a gym uniform that looks like it popped out of Cookies, which is a store in New York. If you're wondering how the fuck I just pulled that store out of my ass, That's the store that most kids went to back in the day to go and get their school uniforms when they went to Catholic school. Yeah. Again, I say this to you again. I am not going to spend money on a gym uniform and pay you $300 for some tacky looking shit. That obviously I could buy a copy or a replica of on fucking Temu. I'm not willing to spend it. Now, all the other people that wanted to feel fucking stupid for buying it, go ahead. Be fucking stupid and buy it. That's your money, not mine. I don't care. I'm not going to waste $300 for something like that. I'm just not. I think altogether, I don't even think it's 300. I think it's 200 actually. But regardless of the fact, I'm not spending that type of money on tacky clothes like that. I'm just not. It looks like a fucking gym uniform for a Catholic school. Anyway, there are other places you can go to, like Big Tots. Big Tots exists. Fucking, what is it? Little Comfort. You could go to any of these other fucking stores and order what you want from them. Fuck. Baby Your Doll. By the way, didn't they just try to fucking sink that fucking store too? When they treated her like remember? So they all were like, oh my God, we love your stuff. You're so cute. And then all of a sudden, I don't hang around that bitch. See what I mean? Again, they didn't do, luckily, one black girl was able to get away from them before she actually took serious damage from them. That's good. That's good. Because the bus hit the other one. See, this is what I mean. Now, the community knows that this is very racist behavior, right? It's extremely racist behavior. But you have some on the T-board that will go and defend this shit. I'll talk about that in the second part. But there are people on the T-board that will defend these bitches up and down. Like the admin. The admin does it. Again, this is all going to be in the next part. But this type of behavior is this is a problem. This is a problem. And I don't think that you should be an event runner doing hallucinogenics when you can't protect people. I don't think that you should be an event runner when you are doing hallucinogenics. I don't. I think that that's incredibly dangerous. And I think that a lot of your friends know it's incredibly dangerous. I personally, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you, I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I believe that the Denver girls all hang out with predators. They know that they are predators, and they don't care because they provide the drugs. That's what I personally believe. And it kind of has a little bit of evidence to it, because if you think about it, there was a comment that was made on the T-board, like, what was it? Like, towards the end of the whole thing. So this is like back in August, or no, not August, July, the end of July, where someone was like, I don't think that they should be kink shamed for intoxiplay. Intoxiplay? Intoxiplay. Okay. So tell me you're a rapist without saying you're a rapist. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a moment, right? Intoxiplay means that the person's intoxicated while doing sexual play, right? Here's the problem with that. If you're intoxicated, you are unsure whether you're okay or not. And the person is not going to check on you because they have no indication to be able to tell whether you are or not okay. Let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you have ever been to a dungeon. Raise your fucking hand if you have ever been to a dungeon. Now, raise your hand if you have ever taken the protocol training in a dungeon. That is usually the speeches that they give you at the beginning of the, before the dungeon opens up. When they talk to all the people at the very beginning and they're like, always have your safe word and stuff like that. That's what I'm referring to. Right? What is one of the rules that they always say? Do not do play while you are intoxicated, because you cannot consent nor tell anybody when you are in fucking danger. You cannot say red, you cannot say yellow or green. You don't know because you're intoxicated. Now, if you are intoxicated and you can't call red, this now seeps into possible rape and sexual assault. There is no such thing as intoxiplay. That's not real. That is not real. And anyone that is pushing that is a dangerous person in the community. And if the Denver girls have friends that agree with this type of shit, I think that proves that they actually hang out with predators. I think that proves it. And if they were so bold to go online and fucking talk about that, and then constantly bring up intoxiplay not once, not twice, but 4 different occasions, and defend it, I think you might have an issue. I think we know where the predators are. Just saying. I mean, they wouldn't fucking report the alleged pedophile. Not once, not twice, not even 3 times. Not in any of the occasions that they claimed that they found this dude with shit. Or even when they heard the fucking story. They never reported it. But they went to the T-board. I guess that counts, right? No, it doesn't count for shit. You did not protect your people. Do not come here and tell me about how, you shouldn't kink shame us for intoxiplay. Or tell me about how someone is a fucking predator when you're out there fucking protecting them. Don't fucking tell me about that. Again, if you want to come in looking like fucking clowns, I'll provide you the makeup. Let's keep going, right? Because there's more. I know you're like, holy fuck, he's been going for an hour. Yes, that's how much information came out. That's how much came out. But there are so many talking points that were an issue that this is why it's taking so long. So you're going to go and defend this intoxiplay shit, right? So the person can't consent, doesn't know what happened, and any type of accident could have went on. And you're sure you want to stand and die on that hill. You sure about that? I wish I had that John Cena meme thing. Are you sure about that? Are you? Are you sure? Because if you ever, if you guys agree with shit like this, every dungeon in goddamn Denver should ban you. If you admitted some shit like that in Pennsylvania, you wouldn't be able to go to a dungeon on the entire East Coast. Get the fuck out of here, man. What the fuck is wrong with you? Intoxiplay. You fucking idiot. Wow. They literally tried to dress up rape and sexual assault and then tried to make it sound pretty. The fuck is wrong with you? You all should not be anywhere near a dark room or a dungeon or anything. Stick to your own selves. See, this is why I say their parties are nothing more than rape dens. Their parties are rape dens. Because to them, all the intoxication, it's just intoxiplay that you didn't consent to. But I guess you kind of consented to it because you took the drugs, right? Last time I checked, taking Molly isn't the same as agreeing to get fucked. But, who knows? According to them, it is. Here's my words of advice for the popular kids, for the Denver girls, right? Get better friends. Get better friends. And actually learn to be more decent human beings. Do not go out there and start lecturing people on decency, on common decency, when you dumb bitches don't have any of it. Do not go out there and lecture motherfuckers on anything that you think it makes sense. Because nothing you have done makes any fucking sense. Do not come over here and lecture us about what safety is and how people should be safe in the community and shit. Don't lecture me on that. Go fuck yourself. Don't come over here and tell me about how we're only conducting intoxiplay, it's perfectly fine. If you allow shit like this at your parties and your events and you're okay with it and you're over here on Instagram fucking showing, oh, look at my NO2 canister, right? Dancing around on fucking TikTok going, I love ketamine so very much. If you're gonna fucking do that type of shit, you're obviously showing people that you are not trustworthy to hold an event. You're not trustworthy to be in the community. You're not trustworthy to stand in the same space as us. You don't deserve a fucking dime that you make off of your fucking content. You do not deserve a dime for any of the shit that you do, because obviously, it's gotten by predatory means. The amount of stories that I've heard about your fucking group has been absolutely goddamn astounding. Fucking absolutely astounding. Do you know, I heard the story about how the dominatrices from Florida almost had to fucking call the cops on you all because you were extorting someone at Cap for money. And just because that dude was such a fanboy and a simp that he actually was like, no, don't do that. But he straight up told people what took place. Now, this is an alleged allegation, but luckily, I guess luckily for you anyway, they didn't call the cops. That's criminal behavior. Well, didn't one of you go to jail before? One of you has been in jail before, haven't they? I'm pretty damn sure of it, actually. No, I'm actually correct. One of you have been to jail before. So why would you go in over here and do criminal behavior like this? In my personal opinion, all you bitches should be sitting in jail. For all the shit that you are doing. From the drug peddling to everything else. Again, I'm not going to touch on the whole missing girl situation. I'm not. People already know that story. I'm not going to talk about it because honestly, I think that the police should actually go back and start researching that entire thing. They should. Because I find it amazing that you all gave the name of the person that gave that girl drugs. You all didn't name that person. You threw your drug dealer under the bus. Because that motherfucker used to hang out with you. So now a lot of the shit that actually went on with that looks really fucking suspicious. Again, I'm not going to touch that. I'm not. You all are a definite issue to the community. A definite one. A definite one. What the fuck is happening? Now, again, the missing girl issue, that's an allegation. And again, until it is proven in the court of law or the police start investigating that shit, we will never know. We will never know. I don't believe that the police will ever investigate that shit. But there were some things that came out and that I questioned that I have an issue with. Now, do I think that all of you motherfuckers were involved? No. But I do believe that there is, and this is, again, my opinion. My opinion. I'm not saying that you had anything to do with it. I don't know. But I find it suspicious that you all knew who the drug dealer was. And I also find it suspicious that he hung out with you. That's the problem. There is a lot going on with your group that you all need to sit down and have a real fucking conversation about. I do not think that you all should be allowed in any fucking events. I think that you all are predatory. I think that all of you are a danger to the community. And I do believe that people are going to get hurt. It's possible one already did. I don't know. I hope that you all are learning something from this. Seriously. Because there is some serious shit going on. And if this shit is real, if there is credence to these allegations, to these alleged allegations, who doggy, you should spend the rest of your life in jail. If there is any credence to this. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next part.